At Saks.com, it's easy to find your new vibe. Dive into the Western trend with gold cowboy boots from Staud, or go full 90s throwback with platforms from Prada.
You can shop Saks.com for everything on your agenda, whether it's a breezy Zimmermann dress for a garden party or a bright Chloe blazer for brunch.
Find inspiration for your new vibe every day at Saks.com. Stewart's single ingredient freeze-dried treats are a great solution because they have only one ingredient, freeze-dried, to lock in nutrition and flavor.
Dogs can't resist them, and you can feel good about treating or training with these treats. Let me tell you something that is absolutely true. Have you ever seen AI where they make a dog look like it's smiling and it's the creepiest thing ever because it looks like a human smile? My dog did that when he had these treats. I mean, my dog is pretty nice to me. I have a sweet, sweet dog, Bueller. I love him. And he's always nice to me, but he's never been as obsessed with me as after when I gave him these treats. He loves them. He literally follows me around for the next hour begging for more. They're really, really, really solid, really good. It's real meat, and they are just little freeze-dried treats you give them. They love them. Visit stewartpet.com to learn more. That's STEWART pet.com.
Shout out to Claritin for supporting this episode and providing us with samples.
My family is an allergy family, and one thing I can always count on is that somebody has the Claritin.
Luckily, for those of us who live with symptoms of allergies, we can live Claritin Clear with Claritin D.
Designed for serious allergy sufferers, Claritin D has 2 powerful ingredients in just one pill that relieve your allergy symptoms and decongest your nose so you can breathe better.
This double action combination of prescription strength allergy medicine and the best decongestant available relieves sneezing, a runny nose, itching, and watery eyes, an itchy nose and throat, and sinus congestion and pressure with ease.
I've got 2 nieces with extreme allergies, and the only thing that helps them is Claritin. We've always got it.
Oh yeah, my boyfriend, let me tell you something. When the allergies start up in Los Angeles, it's like, this is like reach for that Claritin. Ready to live life as if you don't have allergies? It's time to live Claritin Clear.
Fast and powerful relief is just a quick trip away. Find Claritin D at the pharmacy counter.
Ask for Claritin at your local pharmacy counter. You don't even need a prescription.
Go to Claritin.com right now for a discount so you can live Claritin Clear. Use as directed.
Watch what cares what happens when there's so much that happens. Watch what happens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that happens.
Well, hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, the podcast for all that crap we love to talk about on ye old bravs. I'm Ronnie. That's Ben over there. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Good. I'm doing great. Okay. Guys, welcome to the Valley Day. It's a huge day here at Watch What Crappens because we're here. You know, it's like every other day where we're here. But also because it's not really a big day. Oh, you know what? Because we put out a thing asking people to be transcript writers. We got hundreds of submissions.
Hundreds.
No more. That job is closed. I cannot believe it. We're so touched and honored that you guys are going to do this. So that's exciting because our lives are about to change. Okay, I'm going to stay out partying all night from now on. And also, we're going to Europa next week. We are leaving so soon. We're going to see Taylor Swift, and then we're going to do a lot of shows in Europe. Well, not a lot, 3. But we're going to be in London, Dublin, and we're also going to be in the fabulous Birmingham. So here's what we have decided to do. This is the official announcement. If you forget what this is, just go to our Instagram, which is at Watch What Crappens. You know, Instagram, go over there. You know the website. It's called Instagram. Just add a .com at the end or download the app. Hey, everybody, you should download Instagram. Okay, so first up, we're going to do our London show, which is Amsterdam, which is Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Let me open my goddamn text because, of course, I don't have it in front of me because I'm not prepared at all. Okay, it's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Amsterdam, Season 5, Episode 16. Then we're going to go to Dublin, and we're going to be doing Real Housewives of Orange County, Shamrocks and Shockwaves, Season 11, Episode 15. And then we'll be in Birmingham, and we'll be doing Real Housewives of Orange County, Case of the Vickies, which is their Iceland episode, and that is Season 12, Episode 17. So do you see a theme there? They all take place in Mexico. Very, very excited.
Yeah, and so we figured if we're going on a European tour, we're going to bring our recaps on the European tour too. And so obviously the Amsterdam episode is the one where Rinna throws the glass down. Dublin, there's 2 Dublin episodes. The one that we've chosen is, of course, the one where Tamara hyperventilates in the Sprinter van. And then the Iceland episode that we are recapping is naturally the episode where Vicky is taken out of the hotel with a towel on her face to go to the hospital.
Because she's dying, as Vicky always is on a vacation. And here we go with The Valley. This is a video recap available on Patreon, Crappens on Demand. And our bonus will be coming up later this week. Okay, let's get into it. We open at Jax and Brittany's house. Okay. And Jax is like, what's wrong with you, Brittany? What is it? And she's like, well, I'm just feeling a little stressed out today, okay? I mean, you have these days 24/7, Jax, okay? Maybe I'm just a little allowed to be stressed out. I'm allowed to be stressed out too, Jax.
Yeah, but don't take it out on me. She's like, I'm allowed to have a day where I feel a little bit annoyed. Yeah. He's like, all right, well, I'm gonna go take a shower. You wanna go come on and take a shower with me, Cruz, whatever? Yeah, he needs to take a shower. He needs to take a shower with you right now. So Cruz is just sitting there licking the window, just trying to do something to distract from his terrible parents.
Well, at least someone in that house cleans, because I feel like Jax has never put anything wet on the window, you know?
Yeah.
So you go, Cruz. I believe in you. And Brittany's like, wash that booty, booty, booty. Wash that booty. I'm going to sing the same song to you I sing to Mama. Wash that booty. So was it always Mama's beer cheese? Because I saw a thread on Reddit. It was like a life-changing thread where I questioned really everything I know, where they said it used to be called Mima's beer cheese, but I had a Mima, and so I would think that name would have resonated with me enough to remember it, but now they're calling it Mama's beer cheese. Have we just been led astray this whole time? Is Mima copyrighted?
I always thought it was Mima's, but like it's possible that it was Mama's, and because you have a Mima, you're like the main person in my life who says Mima, that it's very possible that in my mind it became Mima, because you probably said Mima because you're like,
Mima.
I have a Mima.
There's a difference between Mima and Mama, and I've always looked at people with Mamas as kind of hicks, because I have a Mima, and I feel like Mima is classier than Mama. Because whenever I heard Mama, just because I was a kid, you know, so I heard Mama and automatically was like, you're wrong, but that wasn't good manners, Ronnie. Have good manners. I mean, look at me, Mr. Manners. And so I would just think in my head, trash.
I have to assume it was always Mama's beer cheese, because I don't think Brittany's going to change like from Mima to Mama. I think like whatever it is, like you wouldn't change from like Mima to like Granny or Grandma.
No, Granny was a different person. We had a Granny too. She was a real nightmare. Everyone knew not to fuck with Granny. Yeah, it's different numerology. So I wouldn't do that. But I'm wondering if they were trying to like make Mama's beer cheese or Mima's beer cheese, and then there was like copyright infringement. Like probably some listener was a smart ass and took out the trademark before Jax and Brittany ever thought to. And so they had to change it to Mima's beer. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I feel like it's an important part of history that nobody talks about, you know? Where else are you going to hear about it other than here?
Well, there is. I did do a search for Mama's beer cheese. I did a search for Mima's beer cheese, and from 2020, Mama's beer cheese came up, and the site is called Cooking by Bravo. And
so Reddit led me astray. You know what? I've just wasted an hour on a Reddit thread. Thanks a lot, jerks.
Wait, what did Reddit?
What did
Reddit? What did Reddit say that led you astray?
They said that it used to be Mima.
Oh, okay, yeah. It looks like I think it was always Mama.
All right, well, sorry for wasting everybody's goddamn time. Okay, I'll understand if nobody comes in Europe. Okay, so then Jax is like, yeah, just lick those windows. Just come on. You know, he's being a smart ass. Like, guess you learned that from your mother. Because everything bad that happens in that family is Brittany's fault, as we all know. And she's like, no, don't stop him, Jax. Stop him from licking the window, Jax.
I'm still looking up this. I'm now gone down a path of like Mama's beer cheese, because there's a Twitter account for Mama's beer cheese that I tried to go to right now. Mama's beer cheese. Now I want to. So, do you know that Brittany Cartwright? If you go to @Mama's beer cheese on Instagram, that's just Brittany. Coming soon, when that was 2018, it was clearly Mama's beer cheese. So Reddit is now officially declared it was always Mama's beer cheese.
Yeah,
it's always Mama's.
Okay.
Always.
Well, they're dead to me. I've just killed Reddit in my mind. JK, guys. JK. Okay. Oh, wow. They have their own Instagram. What are the pictures like? They have 13,000 followers on Mama's
They have
Beer
3
Cheese.
photos. They have
Wow.
3 photos. One of which is Mama's Beer Cheese coming soon. Woo, 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 woo. From 6 years ago. And then there's a picture of Andy Cohen trying it and Brittany cheering in the background. Like, he liked it, Mama. He liked it.
And Brittany, a gif of Brittany naming all her favorite foods. I like cheddar cheese, sharp cheese, shredded cheese, string cheese. It's Brittany's wedding vows posted on there. Okay, so then Brittany sends Jax up to give the kid a bath so that she can have a very private conversation with her mother, which is, going to be sad, we know, because we see a flashback to 25 minutes after Jax stormed out of the date night and then returned. So this is what we didn't see. Jax came back after, maybe banging someone at the nearest AM PM. So he came back, and Brittany's like, are you going to try and come in here and be nice right now? What are you doing in here? You going to be nice to me, Jax? You going to make me feel pretty? You going to take me on a date night? I don't want you in here unless you make me feel pretty right now, Jax. Go.
And he's like, I'm sorry I made you cry. I'm sorry I made you cry. And she's like, well, you definitely pissed me off tonight. I was like, yeah, I know my delivery sucks. I know it sucks. I'm learning. I mean, look, I'm just a 47-year-old guy. I'm still learning these things. So Brittany's telling her mom, she's like, well, there was definitely a moment at dinner where we were like talking about baby number 2, and like Jackson's kind of like saying he has doubts a little bit, because he's like opened this bar and he's just gonna be there a lot, and like I don't know, I think that until he gets there, it's actually like until it's like actually like open, like I'm not gonna know how it's gonna like affect our relationship, mama.
And Sherry's like, well, I never thought it was a good idea from day one. I don't think it's good for a marriage. I always said that, and I'm sticking to it. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. Lady, you suggested she marry Jax in the first place. You have no fucking cred. What do you say? Like you have no
credibility.
Yeah, no one's going to believe you, Sherry. Okay, go back to your whiteout lipstick. Also, Sherry is jumping on the Brittany, let's just make up a whole new accent thing. Have you noticed she's like, her accent's like literally changing to a different state at this point? She's just pronouncing
her accent is like the iPhone when you go
now.
to. It's just like her, whenever she is just in a different state, like, how the iPhone like automatically updates the time zone. Just her accent automatically updates. She's like, well, back in Kentucky, yeah.
Or whenever you're not landing in Mexico, but your phone is still like, you're landing in Mexico. Don't worry. We've got you covered or whatever. Does that ever happen?
Yeah.
It happens to me all the time. So it's like Brittany, your accent has landed in a completely different state. But don't worry. Cricket's got you covered, babe. She's pronouncing date night like doit night or date noit. Like, what are you calling me now? What are you in My Fair Lady in community theater now? Why are you pronouncing it like that? No one pronounces it date noit.
I think there's a lot of actually British, like it's very close. People don't realize it, but like I feel like the Southern accent can teeter into British very, very quickly.
I would say date not, like there's an but like, not noit. I've never heard noit.
I've definitely heard like certain regional Southern accents that sort of do that. They're like, it's like, well, I don't like how you do that, because if you think about it like that, I do that. It's very close to being, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Oh, not once. And then you go a little bit like this, and now suddenly you're Southern. Well, you're not. I mean, just Brittany's Southern, also, not all Southern.
It's also the spectrum of our terrible accents kind of melding together.
Yeah.
Like maybe it just sounds like that to us because our ears.
No, actually, I think with Brittany, like Brittany's accent is so incredibly strong. It is wild. I feel like I've never heard a Kentucky accent as strong as that. It's like her accent is literally like a cartoon. I mean, God bless her. You can't help with the accent you get.
Well, she can. That's why I make fun of it. Because normally I wouldn't just like totally mock it and be like, what a stupid accent. It's not that. It's just that she it changes. She's like overdoing it more, I guess, to play into this. Like, I'm Brittany. I'm from the South. I like castles in Kentucky. I'm like, okay, well now you just sound like you're talking underwater. Like, why are you talking like that? You don't talk like that. I've been watching this woman on TV for 15 years or whatever. I mean, I'm exaggerating years. I do that because I feel like I'm like in my late 40s, so I feel like I'm old now, and so I'm allowed to do stuff like that. Like, be like, back when I was in the war 27 years ago, Which doesn't even make sense. Okay, sorry.
I personally think that Jax's accent is the sleeper. Like I think that I'm just noticing his Michigan accent so strongly these days. I think it's always been there, but like we've been distracted from it. But now I don't know. I feel like I'm constantly hearing it everywhere. It's like he's like, why do I have to do that, Kristen? Like why would I do that, Kristen? Like it's really it's there, and I feel like he has
it jumped out a few times today for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it just something about like? Is he just like? Does he have like accent envy with Brittany? He's like competing or something. I'm not sure.
I think so. Anyway. And I think also it's a little hotness wearing off, Like, I think if you ever, how when you pour milk into cereal, it makes that snap, crackle, pop noise. I think if the milk was expired, it would just be like, snow up, quackle, pop. It would just like have a worse accent. Like there's something like you notice when something's expiring that you wouldn't notice before. It's like maybe he was hot enough before that we didn't notice that, but now that he's less hot, we have to notice different things because like we have to pay attention to different things. So we just notice his bad accent. I think
that when people get tired, their accents start to come out more. Like whatever they do to try to hide it, they just don't have the energy. And I think that Jax is just exhausted at this point, And so like his real Michigander voice is really starting to come through.
Yeah. So here we go. So guys, Jax is still learning. He's just a baby. So she's like, well, Jax ain't going to be here long as he's got stuff going on, Mama. It just really bothers me that my mom's so worried about it. And then we see a flashback to 3 weeks ago where Mama's like, well, I don't know how excited I'm supposed to be about y'all opening a bar. I mean, you told me about your friends who opened a bar and they're all divorced now.
Yeah. And Jack's like, I know. It's like, well, but open a bar, you open a bar, get a divorce, okay? I want this little boy growing up with his mom and dad in the same household, okay? I want this little boy to grow up and see what a dysfunctional marriage looks like, okay? I don't want this bar to come in between whatever's left of this alleged marriage.
I don't want to see my grandson living away from his father. I want to see while his father's at the bar. I want the son in the bar. That's how we do it where we grew up. Brittany, tell him.
I want my grandson to pick up Jax's toxic traits so that way someday he too can find someone just like his mother. So
we hung out in the bar all the time. My parents took us to bars. It was fun. So Brittany is like, me being who I am, I just still want to try and turn it around, Mama. And she's like, was the bar opening in 3 weeks, Brittany, or what? She's like, we got like 17 days, Mama. How many weeks is that? I don't know.
2 weeks and 3 days. Yes.
We just gave Brittany good math skills. So she's like, positive vibes.
So now Danny and Nia are walking the twins, and they get a FaceTime invite from Janet because Janet's messaging everyone because she's going to have hibachi dinner. So keep Tori spelling away, okay? So Janet is like saying, I want to invite everyone to an outdoor hibachi dinner. And Danny's like, heck yeah. Oh, wait, hold on 1 second. That zombie fork, can't wait.
And Janet's like, I'm going to text and call everybody today. I just want to have a reset night where we can actually have a ton of fun. You basic ass Janet, fucking hibachi night. Get the fuck out of here with your basic ass. Could you not rent a skee ball machine? Get out of here, Janet. I hate Janet now after this episode, by the way. You don't get to come on this show as the most boring person and then start recasting the show, ma'am. You better get on your damn hands and knees and thank Kristen's ass for bringing you on the show in the first place because she was pitching this show with Jax. You didn't do shit except sit there and gossip about people. You don't get to come on here and try and recast our caca Mariposa. I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but I'm not going to your stupid hibachi dinner. You can throw food at your own damn face.
Yeah, I also like how she's like, it's going to be a big reset night, but it's not going to involve the person that we have conflict with, so really nothing's going to get reset at all. We're just going to continue on with our normal dynamics.
Yeah. So we see the text being sent all over town. And then Kristen just gets a ... So we go to Kristen's apartment. And they have Brooklyn, the gecko, which is crazy that Luke named his Bronx. Wow, that's even crazier because Luke, hates the Bronx. Like, you know, he hates New
Yeah,
York
that
City.
is
He's like,
odd.
I need open air. I can't be in a place without. There's so much electricity there. That is disgusting and wasteful. So why would you name your gecko that?
I also think it's just like funny. Sometimes I just feel like people name animals and children after boroughs in New York City when they don't have any real attachment to them. I mean, I don't think Luke has an attachment to the Bronx. He might. It's like David Beckham naming a child Brooklyn. I mean, does David Beckham have does he have like strong ties to Brooklyn? Like it's just strange. A lot of people name things Brooklyn, and maybe it's because they like the name Brooke and they like the name Lynn, and they're like, oh, let's name it Brooklyn, and then that way.
No, they heard it somewhere and they like it, and they hear it like Brooklyn is always like being gentrified. I mean, I don't know why that you would want that for your baby, but I feel like ever since I lived there in 1993, Brooklyn has been gentrified. Like every time you're like, oh, I used to live in Brooklyn, and people are like, oh yeah, well now I'm in Park Slope, that was just gentrified, but now I'm in Green Slope, it's being gentrified. Like, well, it's just slowly over the years they're taking over everything in Brooklyn. And I think if you have a baby that doesn't come out the way that you want, but you still have hope for it, you're like, I'm going to name that baby Brooklyn, because maybe if taxes are raised enough, that baby's going to get a Starbucks or two.
Yeah, I just think it's like naming a child like Brickell. I'm like, well, it's a nice part of Miami. I'm gonna name my child that, or my lizard. You know. Now I would name my lizard Brickell, but it'd be more as an ode to Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians. Let's be honest.
Brickell. Why would you do that after the season finale of Vanderpump Rules?
Brickell.
Yeah.
Brickell is the brick version of Brickell.
Raquel is the brick version of Brickell.
In the brick cast of Vanderpump Rules, we have Brickell and Brariana and Brickoval.
Here are my thoughts about the season finale of Vanderpump Rules. I've always felt triggered by Applebee's, and when they mentioned going to Applebee's 9 times, I felt very attacked. I brought a therapist on to talk to me about it.
I once went to Applebee's and I didn't feel good in the neighborhood. And it made me wonder how many other things I've been lied to about.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial. Hungry Root is the easiest way to eat healthy. They send you fresh, high-quality groceries, simple recipes, and essential supplements. It's like your personal assistant for healthy living.
So you take a fun, short quiz, and Hungry Root will get to know your personal health goals, what you like to eat, and more. And then they'll build you a personalized cart with all your grocery needs for the week and give you delicious recipe recommendations to put those groceries to use.
Each order is fully customizable, so you can take their suggestions or choose anything you want. We love this place. It's like, I like eating this, and this. I'm a vegetarian, eat some fish sometimes. They send you all these groceries that all fit into exactly what you like.
Yeah, I have an issue with snacking in that I always want to snack, but I often snack on things that aren't always as good for me. And it was really great to get all sorts of healthy, nutritious snacks from Hungry Root. Right now, Hungry Root is offering Watch What Crappens listeners 40% off your first delivery and free veggies for life.
Just go to hungryroot.com/crappens to get 40% off your first delivery and get your free veggies.
That's hungryroot.com/crappens. Don't forget to use our link so they know we sent you.
The CDC estimates that approximately 96 million American adults, more than 1 in 3, have prediabetes. Of those with prediabetes, more than 80% don't even know they have it.
Why does this matter? If you have prediabetes, sugar begins to build up in the bloodstream rather than fuel the cells. This is when insulin resistance occurs, which is believed to be the #1 cause of prediabetes.
A healthy weight allows insulin to work more efficiently and can help to keep blood sugars within a normal range.
Signos can help you short-circuit the cycle by using data directly from your body to design a weight loss plan that's unique to your lifestyle.
With Signos, you can literally see which foods cause your blood sugar to spike above reasonable levels and get real-time alerts to do a bit of exercise to bring them back down.
On average, people make about 227 food choices a day.
Learn the difference between stress eating and physical hunger.
Better manage your energy throughout the day and sleep better at night.
Listen, I've got some health stuff going on here. I've been on my weight loss journey for about a year now, and I need to track this stuff, so it's great to have something so simple to use.
Signos removes the guesswork of weight loss and provides you with the tools and knowledge needed to develop healthier habits. It combines your glucose data from the CGM or a continuous glucose monitor with an AI-driven app to deliver real-time glucose insights for optimal health and weight management.
Right now, Signos has an offer exclusively for our listeners. Go to signos.com, that's SIGNOS.com, and get up to 20% off select plans by using code CRAPPENS today.
That's signos.com and use code CRAPPENS to get up to 20% off select plans for you today. So now we go. So we have Kristen and Luke, and they are feeding this little gecko named Bronx. And Luke is like, "Oh, this is like a fruit mix. You want to try it?" And of course, Kristen's like, "Yeah." So Kristen like tastes it. Goes, "It's actually like really, really good. Like I would say a little bit better than like parking lot median flour, but maybe not as good as goat cheese balls."
Yeah, Kristen's that person. Kristen's that person who will taste anything. When you're like, "Ooh, is this milk bad? You should taste it." The rest of us are like, "Why would you try and get me to taste spoiled milk?" Kristen's like, "I'll take it. It's like liquid cheese." Why am I bringing up spoiled milk so much? It's so weird. It's my second time today. Not sure where it's coming from.
Well, don't cry about it, okay? I guess that's more spilled milk. Don't cry for spoiled milk either. No, it's like if you spill it, don't cry. But if it's spoiled, you can have a moment. We want to let you have a moment to cry over that milk that you thought you were going to drink today.
Oh, so Janet and Jason's house. So they're talking about this hibachi dinner and how they're not inviting rabble-rouser Kristen, rabble-rousing pet food tasting Mariposa shoulder in the ear caca Kristen.
Yeah, and Janet is hoping that their kid does not play video games growing up, and Jason's like, "Oh, he will," and she's like, "No, I hope he plays board games," which was like, I was like, okay, I think I like Janet a little bit more. I like that she's pushing a board game agenda, but then she's like, "I hope he plays Monopoly. We can play Monopoly all the time." And then Jason's like, "No, Monopoly's the worst game ever." So I'm like, "No, I'm more pro Jason." I was really invested in this little bit of banter. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, Janet, I think, wants her kids to play board games. At first, I thought she was saying that to be snotty. Like, video games are for stupid people and board games are for smart people. So but then I realized she's just like, I want my kid to hang out with me and be interactive. And I was like, wow, spoken truly like someone who's never been around a child before. Trust me, in about 5 minutes, you're going to be thanking the altar of fucking PlayStation. Okay. You're going to be bowing down and kissing their ass for saving your ass hours of stupid fart conversations with a child.
Yeah, that Animal Crossing theme song will be playing loud and proud in that household soon enough.
Yeah.
So Janet's talking about Kristen, and she's not inviting Kristen to her hibachi party, and she says that Kristen is an agent of chaos, and it's been a lot of stressful situations with Kristen for a while now, and because of the drama she's creating, I've seen this before, and I have to put up a boundary. But like, you're not like the drama that you're attached to is just the stuff that you started that she actually called out, right? Like Janet was the one who said Michelle seems to be a Republican, a secret Republican, and is down with the, let's not forget, the don't say gay policy of Florida. And Janet was the one who put that out there. And Kristen didn't even bring it up in a group setting. Let's not forget, it was Brittany who pulled it out of Kristen, and then Janet got basically mad because she got put in the crossfires. And that's what set this entire thing in motion. And then everything that happened at the Mondrian, that had nothing to do with Janet. So I don't know why she is so butthurt about that. And I will say butthurt in support of Michelle Lawley this episode.
Because Janet is trying to deflect. It's the Patty LuPone flashbang bomb, or what the flashbang Patty LuPone, or whatever from last week. That's what Janet is doing. She's trying to distract people so they don't get mad at her for calling Michelle Lawley out on being anti-gay. Now, here's the thing that I think we're all forgetting in this. Well, no one's forgetting this probably, but it just sounds better to say it when I'm ranting and raving. Is that Michelle Lawley never denied that Florida gay law stuff. And she also has not denied having an affair, really. I mean, she kind of has to us. But why aren't we asking Lawley the real questions? Why is it all Kristen's fault? I mean, she's sitting over there trying some fruit mix so Bronx doesn't get sick. And we're calling her a bad person? Okay. What about the people who are actually being accused of things like the fucking around on your husband for a year with Rob Reiner? Where's that? Where's that accusation? Okay. And throwing Diet Coke cans at your car at drag queens' heads.
And while we're at it, what the fuck is going on with Bravo that we're not getting a reunion for this show? Look at all these pressing questions that we have, things that need to be said and confronted. Why is this not happening? I mean, there have been rumors going around that Andy is getting burnt out by doing so many reunions, which I support. But isn't there someone else who can do this reunion?
Well,
we'll do it. I don't care.
Somebody else. Yeah, bring somebody else on. It doesn't always have to be Andy every single time, especially for the non-housewives shows. Why don't they just have Andy doesn't watch all this non-housewives shit anyway, and you can tell, and he looks exhausted, and he should just not do those anyway. He should do all the housewives, and then they should bring in other people to do the other shows. That's ridiculous.
Yes, Rob Reiner would be a great moderator.
Rob Reiner would be great. We should just have all the suspected people that Michelle Lawley was fucking for a year as the lineup. Quentin Tarantino, Rob Reiner, and who was the other one? Michael Bay.
Michael Bay.
Just have a string of directors lined up.
Yeah, and so just I mean, Bravo, it's fine. Just hire people who watch this show. It doesn't have to be me and Ronnie, but like
have Stassi do it. Bring Stassi back.
Honestly, have Stassi.
Like,
have Taylor Schreiber.
Stassi's just like, you're all disgusting. So why are you so?
But don't
gross?
just also like attach on someone like who clearly does not watch it, like Karamo or something like that. Oh, he may watch it. I don't know. But like,
well, they did run into that problem at BravoCon. They had
that's why I mentioned
and I saw that one. Well, I guess it's on TV. Everybody could see it, but I was kind of surprised by that. They just hired a bunch of B-list ass people. I mean, sorry, no offense to anyone specific, but they had some really good people who were like fans and historians of the show, like that. You had your Danny Pellegrinos there, like who really know what's going on, right, Brian? You know, they did have some people like that, but then they had a lot of people who have just like been on Entertainment Tonight before, and so they're like, hey, you should do a whole panel on this show that you've never seen before, and then they just ask stupid questions, and no one's interested, and people leave halfway through the thing, like. Guys, there's zillions of people who could do this. Make an effort, but don't take your best show of the year and just not give them a reunion. That's nuts.
I know,
do
exactly.
Like we did with Below Deck that time and do our own.
Yeah, we'll invite them all on and onto Zoom, and we'll host a Valley reunion on Watch What Happens.
If anybody from the Valley wants that, just all it takes is a DM. We'll do that shit immediately. And also Cindy C on Twitter, Cindy C on the case, CC on the CC. Cindy C on Twitter suggested that, and I think we should run with it. Yeah, so if anybody wants us to do that, well, not the audience, because I know you guys will say yes, but who knows if anybody from the show even knows who we are or would come on if we ask them. But if you want to, give us a DM, Janet, even you. Your basic hibachi.
I like Janet. Wait, I want to say. I want to say something.
I'm just mad at Janet. I'm just mad at Janet today, but I just mean in general.
I really like Janet. I think Janet is so funny. I think that ultimately, she is doing what you're saying she's doing. She's doing the flashbang Patti LuPone. Like, just she wants to deflect. She knows she kind of betrayed Michelle's confidence. She sort of like, talked shit about her friend in a way that could damage her friend's reputation. And so she has now kind of like been happy to pile on to Kristen because it keeps the shit off of her. But I love how messy Janet is. The way they show a montage of her in a little bit that shows her just like asking questions of like gossiping everywhere. I think that's great. I love that. I think she's hilarious. But she should invite Kristen because you're on a show here.
This is Kristen's show. I'm sorry. Like, you're new. Okay, you're new here, ma'am. You need to invite Kristen on the show.
Kristen is the hilarious.
I actually like everybody on the show, and it's not just because I invited them to come do a reunion with us. I actually really do like everybody on the show. But
I agree. There's no one that I hate.
You can't just be like, oh, look, everyone hate Kristen. Here's a hibachi party. Ain't nobody here but all chicken. I'm on to you, flashbang Patti LuPone, and I'm not going to take this crap from you. Cut the crap, lady. Also, you're going to need a babysitter, and who's better than Kristen? JK.
Hey, this is what gecko food tastes like.
Kristen eating that gecko, I feel like we have actually really just breezed right past that, and I feel like it's important that we really pay attention to the fact that Kristen ate gecko food, okay?
Well,
she actually... Fruit. Well, but it was still like that gecko was eating a meal. Like, I don't like it when anyone unprovoked puts a fork into my food while I'm eating at a restaurant. And that gecko was at a restaurant at that moment. And Kristen was like, hold on, let me get a little bite of that. It's like, ma'am, you were at your own table. You have an entire fridge of food that you ordered. You cannot come into Gecko restaurant and eat my appetizer. But what it's so
even geckos think Kristen has terrible manners.
I know. That gecko just disinvited Kristen from its hibachi party.
You're not coming to my hibachi meal. I'm only throwing my fruit mixture at Luke.
I'm just loving Kristen entering her Shelley Duvall era because her hair is looking like Shelley Duvall in The Shining. She sort of has that, she's got this like extra kookiness. Kristen is the sort of person who you go to the farmer's market and she's there in a little booth selling honey in a straw, you know, or in a plastic stick. And I'm loving this for her. I'm loving how we met her as this like skinny, obnoxious, quote unquote model who was like, basically, you can't sit with us. And now here she is, like, listening to Dreams by Fleetwood Mac in the corner, making T-shirts, eating gecko food, trying to have a baby, kind of rumpled in her own corner of the valley. It's a great
It's like
arc.
if Kristen was being played by Mo from Mad TV.
Yeah.
You remember
Mo,
that actor,
what's her
Stewart's
face?
mom?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, so Jason's like, yeah, I mean, Kristen really hasn't apologized in a way that makes sense. No one owes you an apology, Jason, and stop fucking enabling Janet to be terrible, okay? And she's like, well, I don't even know if she's capable. Well, what about you? Where's your apology, Miss fucking drag queen in a library accuser, but not stand behind her? Behind her.
So now Kristen goes and meets with Jasmine.
This is why I can't host reunions. Look how I would be. Oh, fuck off, Janet. Nobody buys it, all right?
Us trying to be biased, and I'd be like, I'm so sorry I made fun of your voice, Brittany.
It's okay. Yay.
Or, I'm sorry that I just referred to you as skinny in the past, Kristen. What the hell was that? I just got offended at that. Right
Well,
now,
meaning that was like
5 minutes later. How dare
Well,
you?
why are you offended by it?
Because I'm always worried about my weight, and I'm projecting my own insecurities onto what you're saying.
I wasn't attaching any value to it. I was saying that like that was
Really?
her
Because I
thing.
just threw away peanut M&Ms. Threw them away.
I ate all of mine. Thank you, by the way, to the kind soul who gave us
She was
the
a
peanut
sweetheart.
M&Ms. She was so
Yeah.
lovely with her
Well, that was
with her
a
man.
huge bag of M&Ms, too. It was bigger
Oh,
than a pound.
it was great. It got me. That was like my dinner that night. Anyway, what I was going to say is it was more just like she was at a place where like that was like what her life was all about, right? It was about like being, you know, like a toothpick and fitting into those flimsy dresses and being like, this makes me better than everyone because I look like this and I am like this and that I can do this. Now I'm not attaching any value to the fact that she was skinny or not skinny or now she's
Okay,
more
well, I'm
like,
counting calories, so everybody calm down. Is the point.
Okay. All right.
So,
Sorry to step on your trigger.
Yeah, really. So then Kristen is meeting with Jasmine, and everyone on the show cracks me up how they're all blaming Kristen, but actively gossiping on camera themselves. Yeah. It's so funny. I feel like for Kristen, like you pointed out earlier, Kristen's being pretty subtle for Kristen, you know? So Kristen meets with Jasmine at a place called Vineyage. And so she's like, listen,
I know that everyone's mad at me, but Jax is the one that's stirring shit up, okay? Like, come on.
and so Jasmine's like, well, I'm really glad we did this because I don't know if you know, I don't even know how to say this. I need to eat this first. So then she puts some food in her mouth and just sits there and chews at Kristen. This lunch is over as far as I'm concerned. I have to sit here and pause while you chew? Bye. Goodbye. We're not friends anymore.
It made me crave cheese. So she basically is saying, you know, I talked with Jax and everything, and, you know, he said that you had some information about Michelle, probably texting another guy. But he was saying that, et cetera, et cetera. And then Jax and Kristen's basically like, oh, who's the only person talking about it now? You know who it is? It's Jax. And then
And Jasmine and Janet. Let's not
Right.
forget, this is now Jasmine's third scene. Is it her third scene? Talking about this on camera, trying to get someone else to spill the details.
Well, here's the secret. From what Michelle told me, she was texting with someone who is not Jesse, and she had, I guess, an emotional affair with Rob Reiner. There, I said it. The truth shall set you free. Caw-caw! I fly on the wind of liberation and truth.
I fly on the wings of a dove bar. Oh, caw-caw!
So Jasmine's like, yeah, I mean, it's just weird that he would say that because, like, you were talking about Michelle having some kind of interaction with a man, right? And she's like,
Well, he's the one who said it a few weeks back, so I don't know why I'm the one getting in trouble for it. Caw-caw.
and then we see a flashback to a month ago where they were at lunch at the steakhouse where Jax took the vegetarian to the steakhouse. And
Yes.
then we see a little bit extra because Jax is like, I'm just scared to bring this up because it's really not my place to do it. But, it's regarding Michelle, because there was another guy. She was like totally fucking, she fucked a football team. You're not recording this, right? She goes, Jax, we're on a TV show. Of course they're recording it.
There's cameras. There are people holding giant cameras in your face, and you have a mic pack on. Oh, fuck. Well, I don't want to get in trouble for saying this, but I just don't want to look because Brittany told me this in confidence, and my wife will kill me. But look, it could ruin a marriage. I don't want this to come out at all whatsoever. So basically, this is Brittany. Brittany gossiped to Jax. Now got Jax gossiped to Kristen. Kristen now has let it out because they've been so mean to her, because they've accused her for doing that. All this has come from Brittany, actually. Everything has traced back to Brittany in many ways. Yep. Brittany is the one who coaxed out of Kristen at that game night, said once again, or girls' night or whatever, what it is. And now this whole thing is because Brittany gossiped to Jax about this secret.
Yep, that's exactly right. Brittany plants the bomb and then just stands back and goes, what? Make me feel pretty. Okay, so then Kristen's like, yeah, he even texted me right after lunch. He said, and then we see the text message pop up on the screen, and it says, it's just like a nose emoji, and it says, do not repeat anything personal to Michelle. You could destroy her life, and I don't know if it's true. And you told my wife, now she's pissed at me. Why would you repeat something unless you know the facts? Please don't open your mouth about anything like that. Please, it's not your place.
And Kristen goes, what are you talking about? I haven't even talked to Brittany. You're the one who said shit on camera that I've never even heard of. Don't text me crazy shit.
He's so nuts. So then he goes home and he's like, God damn it, Brittany. Now he's making up that Kristen is the one that called Brittany. His compulsive lying nature is really just grown into a beautiful, beautiful flowering plant at this point.
I mean, one could even make an argument that Brittany threw the original flashbang Patty by saying that, well, Kristen, you're the one who's trying to start up so much shit around these days, talking about Michelle Liley and such like that. Maybe there's a world in which Jax tells Brittany, I told Kristen, and she's mad because she knows Kristen's gonna start babbling, and she doesn't know what Kristen may have said, so she just does this preemptive strike at girls' night and then gets all the heat on Kristen. I don't know. That may be too calculated for Brittany.
I don't know. I mean, I think she can calculate, not numbers, but, things like this. I think she's very strategic in what she tells Jax and sends Jax out with into the world, Because that episode where they were fighting, and I think was the Capri episode where they were fighting, and then you see Jax go in and he's telling the people inside they have to go have the fight outside. You guys need to get out there and work this out. And then Brittany's out there telling the other group, y'all need to get out there and work this out. This needs to be talked about. And they're both producing. They're both acting like producers from the reel, just trying to get everybody to shoot. So I think those two are producing pretty well,
Yeah. So Kristen says that she went and she's like, well, of course I went to Brittany about this. And I was just straight up like, do you know something that you told Jack or whatever? And she said it was like an actor, like a celebrity. Just ask Brittany because she knows that. So I guess Kristen is like, that's what it is.
She does that was my sage thing. She does a really, her head's very, very deeply nodding with her shoulder pumping.
Yeah, and Jasmine's like, oh, now an actor's involved. Oh, Lord. I want to believe you. I don't know. After all this drama that we've had in the past, and you said this or didn't say this and twisting this, I don't know what to believe.
And Kristen's reaction to someone, if someone said, wow, Ronnie, I really don't know whether I believe you or not. I want to, but God, after everything you've done, I would be like, fuck you. I had to just sit here and watch you eat a cracker. But Kristen's not. She's just like,
yeah, well, I guess we just don't know. Am I telling the truth or not? Mariposa. Mariposa. Friday Night Lights, bitch.
She's cheering. She's leading a cheer for herself in the stands.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
the third host of this show is named Bueller. Okay, that's my dog. I love that dog, and I would do anything for him. And today's episode is sponsored by the ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program.
In today's world, we insure a lot, from cars and homes to cell phones and even travel plans. But what about insurance for your cat or dog? With ASPCA Pet Health Insurance, you can focus on the care your pet deserves and cover what matters most.
The ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program offers customizable accident and illness plans, making it easier for pet parents like you to help your pet get the care they may need.
The ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program has been around for over 18 years, and they've helped more than 600,000 pets during that time.
They allow you to customize your plan, helping ensure that your pet's plan is unique as they are.
Because vet bills can really add up, especially when you're least expecting it.
It's simple. Use their app to submit a claim, and you'll receive reimbursement for eligible vet bills directly into your bank account.
To explore coverage, visit aspcapetinsurance.com/crappins.
That's aspcapetinsurance.com/crappins.
Again, that's aspcapetinsurance.com/crappins.
This is a paid advertisement. Insurance is underwritten by either Independence American Insurance Company or United States Fire Insurance Company and produced by PTZ Insurance Agency Limited. The ASPCA is not an insurer and is not engaged in the business of insurance.
So,
Nobody knows whether I'm lying or not. And you never will.
na 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 Mariposa. So, Jazz.
Call. Hey. Caw.
Mariposa, posa. Seriously? Mariposa, posa. Seriously? So Jasmine has a whole thing where she's like, oh my God, I don't know who to believe. Why do I feel like I need a therapist after this? I don't fully understand Jasmine's role on this show.
I'm not sure. I'm glad she's here, but and I don't even want to say that because I feel so bad for the single people, because the single people, as we see later in the episode, are so othered on this show that I don't want to do that to them. But yeah, they don't have the luxury of sitting at home and talking to their significant others about like the 20,000 babies.
But she's not even single, by the way. She's not even single. She's in a relationship.
True. Why aren't they showing her relationship? Maybe because they don't want babies, and the show's only focused on babies.
Yeah, because she lives on the other side of the hill. She's off-brand. So now it's time for the hibachi night. So Jax and Brittany arrive first, and Jax is like instantly jealous of the flowers because he is the suburban guy who is like keeping up with the Joneses. He's like, "What's up with their flowers? How's he keep his flowers alive? He never even waters them." Oh, it's because they have a gardener. Right. That's what I'm telling you. We need a landscaper, Jax.
He's like, yeah, I know. We need a gardener. We need a gardener. We need a gardener.
And our note taker added this part, which I think is true. Isn't their backyard all plastic grass? Isn't it like AstroTurf? Nice note.
No, because Jax is always mowing it. Isn't Jax always mowing the lawn?
Oh,
that's his thing. But I wouldn't put it past Jax to mow a
leaf
plastic
blowing
lawn.
a lot. I know he's a big leaf blower.
Doesn't he have like a little riding?
Well, that's the front of the front lawn.
yard.
I don't know, actually. Now I don't know. Maybe he's just so good at mowing that his backyard looks fake.
But one thing he can't do is grow a flower. I mean, isn't that the metaphor? So they show up and they're talking, like, there's some talk about, like, oh my God, you're wearing skinny jeans, da da da. And so everyone shows up slow motion to hibachi night in the backyard in the valley. And we see some people, Simon and George, come through. I'm actually Facebook friends with Simon, which is funny, but I've never met Simon in life. Isn't that funny how that happens on Facebook? You just have people that you're friends with for like 10 years. We've been friends for 10 years on Facebook. We've never met in real life.
Wow.
I feel like this was me meeting him, seeing him on Bravo. I was like, oh, great. Nice to meet you in person.
So now I'm thinking about all the people I know on Facebook. Why did you take me down this? I'm not going to go there. Do not worry about it. I was just thinking, actually, these poor neighbors. I feel like you're like, you know what? I'm going to save maybe 5% and move to the valley instead of wherever over the hill. I'm going to just save like a minimal amount of money and just make the move. How bad could it be? Everyone lives in the valley now. And then you move to the valley and a piece of shrimp hits your window and someone's like, hibachi night. And you're like, oh, fucking hibachi night. Only in this fucking valley. Only here.
So someone asks, has anyone heard, or George asks, has anyone heard from Kristen? And Janet is like, yeah, she kind of had a blow up at Jax's dinner after his event, after we all were really mean to her. So I didn't invite her here.
Yeah, and Jesse's like, anybody notice I removed Kristen from the group chat? Anybody notice that one? I don't like that. I don't like Jesse jumping in on the meanness. You stay over there. You're too short to be mean.
No, that's Jesse who's mean, not Danny. Jesse is already mean.
Which one's Jesse? Oh, Jesse's the mean. He's headband hair.
He's already a dick.
I still get confused.
This is very on brand for him. Don't worry, Danny's still nice, even though he has black pools of an abyss behind his eyes.
Sorry, I called you too short to be mean. But the same goes for you, Jesse.
So, yeah, I feel like Jesse is not allowed. Jesse, for someone with such a big dent in his hair, I feel like he's very mean. Like
he's mean, yeah.
I mean, he's just a huge dick. He's probably the one person
I kind of like him,
show.
though.
No, I don't like him at all. I think he seems awful.
Kinda
He would
like
make
him.
me feel insecure in real life.
He wouldn't make me feel insecure. I'll always win. You're always taller. Listen, you know what straight I feel like gay guys, by the way, I know that I'm being super nasty to people who haven't heard me before, or even if you have. But the reason I make fun of this is because I don't have a short thing. I think it's hilarious that people are so weird about height. And I feel like women are really bad about it. And I feel also like gay men are really, really bad. Really mean about height. I'm not. I think shortness is so hot. I think it's like the weirdest thing to dislike somebody over. But I know that straight guys have a huge thing about it because women have always tortured them about it and been like, I won't date you. I need a 6'4" man, or I need a man that's taller than me, or whatever. And so I know it really bothers the guys a lot, you know? And so you'll always win with a straight guy that's shorter than you because you know they're so insecure about it. I could just like look down and be like, oh my gosh, your hair looks so nice from up here. And that'll shut them up. You'll always win.
Yeah. Well, I'll think about that next time I encounter Jesse Lawley. And I'll say, your words have no power over me because you're shorter than me.
Because you're shorter. Just don't do it while you're sitting down. Just be sure you're standing up. You're only powerful when you're standing up.
Your words have no power over me because I literally can't hear them down there, wherever you are.
Could you tilt up when you say that a little bit?
So Jesse has removed Kristen from the group chat, and he's like very proud. And Jack's like, yeah, I mean, she sent me a novel, like, you don't have my back, and like, you said we were close, and you never stick up for me. And then Janet goes, did you block her? He goes, yeah, I blocked her on everything. Yeah.
But by the way, Kristen's right. Jax helped start all this shit against Kristen. I mean, he's such an asshole. It's like, let's start a show together, Kristen, so I can ruin your life again. You know? Yeah,
totally. So everyone sits down. They're like doing sake shots and everything. And then Brittany's like, it's like you see like it's like when we are in the haunted mansion and the ride suddenly breaks. You know, and you have to sit there staring at like a crystal ball for 10 minutes while they fix it. That's what's happening.
It happens often on that fucking ride.
Last time I was there, I sat there for 15 minutes. I sat there for 15 minutes. I watched a projection of a head in a crystal ball. Watched it over and over. I like knew all her lines. It was like, from here to far, no matter where you go, my soul will always be here. I was like, oh my God, this lady. But that's what you see. Like, you just sort of see the haunted mansion in Kristen's head just sort of break. It's just like, oh.
Yeah,
and Jax
that's
is
this
like,
whole show. It's just a ride through Kristen's head. It's a haunted mansion.
Brittany's head. So Kristen's head is not Kristen's head's like the Cars ride, I think. It's like, oh, we're in a factory. Oh, we made a left. Now we made a right. There's Mr. Toad. Wait, I'm in Mr. Toad's wild ride. Oh, wait, all this time I thought it was in the Cars ride. I just switched rides.
Maybe she's got different things because I do feel like Kristen has some haunted mansion energy because of just her shoulder. You know how you sit on those things that are always turning in different directions and move? It's like I feel like Kristen talks like that. Like,
well, I wasn't the one who said it, but she's the one who said it. But
I think she
you're
is
up a hill, then you're down a hill. I feel like it's just watching Kristen have a normal paragraph.
I think she's just a soft-cased Space Mountain. It's like when she's walking around, it's like there are actively Space Mountain carts going around inside her body, which is why she's always herky-jerky, because it's like, she's like, oh, like when every time the cart goes up to like her shoulder goes up like that, you know, and when it goes down to her leg, her leg moves a little bit. She's like, oh, sorry, another ride's going on. Whoa, Space Mountain.
Anyway,
So Jax is like, "What's wrong with you, Brittany? I just saw a toilet paper ghost come out of your mouth." And she's like, "I don't feel very good." And he goes, "Well, maybe you should stop drinking that stuff." So then, meanwhile, on the other side of the table, Michelle and Jesse. Michelle's like, "Can you see my teeth?" And he goes, "What? Of course I can fucking see your teeth. They're teeth. We're just eating things. What do you think you were eating with? Gums?" Fucking
But
idiot.
do I have anything in my teeth?
he goes, "No, you don't."
Well, do you think I'm just like showing you my teeth for the fun of it?
No.
He's like, "No." So anyway, everyone, I have a question. This is surely going to get my wife to stay with me. Okay, everyone. Has anyone heard the phrase "butt hurt"? Because that's like the dumb. Not you, Zach. Everyone else. Anybody? And they're like, yeah, it's a word. Dun dun dun.
Yeah, we see a flashback to Michelle saying it, and he's like, "Oh my goodness." He's like, "I didn't know your feelings were in your butt." So, I guess this is what happens, unfortunately. You sort of get to a certain age, and suddenly, like, you're shocked by slang that's everywhere. So, Danny is like, "Yeah, that's why I say, like, butt hurt. That's why I say I only go on with the first knuckle. Know what I mean? Only the first knuckle. 3 knuckles under 2 inches. That's what I say."
And Jesse's like, "Well, I guess we know how you made 3 kids in 2 years." I don't think that's how babies work, but okay. And Danny's like, "Well, it gets real." I don't know. I don't want to talk about fingers and butts because then I start picturing everybody with the finger in their butt. I don't want to think about it. So Michelle's like, "Yeah, he's always trying to correct me, but it is a word." And Janet's like, "I wish you'd let me get a knuckle in." God, I'm glad Kristen's not here so I could get that line out.
So Brittany goes inside, and she sits on the sofa in sort of a strange position. And she's just sitting there. And so Jax is like, "You all right?" She goes, "No, I don't feel good." It's like, "Well, what made you sick?" "I think taking that shot of sake. I don't know. I'm in a lot of pain. I got sake illness." He goes, "Stomach pain?" "Yeah, it's like I can't even smell the smell from the hibachi because it makes my stomach hurt from the sake, It was making me nauseous."
She's like, "I gotta go home, James." It's like, "Do you want me to come home with you?" She's like, "No, you gotta stay here. I'm gonna go home." And he's like, "So I just call you an Uber?" She's like, "Well, I just feel nauseous. I'm just dying. I'm dying." He goes, Drinking. I told you. Well, Jax on his 5th nose coming on national TV to convince the world that Brittany's a raging alcoholic. He's such an asshole.
Yeah, she's like,
I had one sake shot. Like, it was my first drink of the freaking night. Like, him snapping at me. It's like so hard to be constantly someone's punching bag. It's like not fair.
And so Jax is like, "Just go, Brittany, just go." Okay, so hey, everyone. Yeah, Brittany had to go. She's not doing well. So I gave her $5 and said, "Make your way home, toots." We'll see how she does.
And Janet's like, "Yeah, well, she must really not feel good because Brittany literally loves game night. She wouldn't miss it unless her pain was at an 8 or above." Janet, you're really stepping on my last nerve today. I don't like when friends use terminology like that. I don't feel good. On a scale of 1 to 10, how about 4 martinis? Okay, that's how many I need. What are you fucking scaling me? I'm not the doctor. Get the fuck out of here, Janet. You non-inviter hibachi basic.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. She has some backup because when Janet says, Brittany wouldn't miss the game night unless it was an 8 above. In case you were doubting that, Zach is like, "No, she literally loves game nights more than anything. More than anything."
Jax is like, "If you know the game night's going to make you sick, don't drink it. She knew she was going in. This could jeopardize her well-being, but she did it anyway. This has been happening for 10 years with her. 10 years being married to an alcoholic. Hello, my name is Brittany. Jesus Christ, she's got enough chips. You'd think she could be sober for 1 minute."
Jack's saying, if you know something's going to make you sick, don't drink it. Well, if people followed that advice, you would never have a love life. So everybody goes over to the patio area, and now it's time to play Drag Your Heart. It's basically the newlywed game. And so Jared comes out, and he's in drag, and they're going to do this whole trivia game thing. And Michelle Holly goes, "I hate games." There's been a lot of talk about games where people stand on them already in this episode. But of course, fucking Michelle hates games. Of course, she is joyless and
hates. Like, who hates games? It's in the name.
We literally
games are
hate
fun.
these games on this show. We hate.
I know,
these
but
games. I can't believe you're so pro these games. All this, you really don't like this, Michelle.
I'm pro games in life. I hate games on this show, but I'm pro. She just hates games in general. She just hates joy. She just wants to go.
She's a joy hater.
She is a joy hater. She just, which is funny that she's boinking Rob Reiner because he's like a comedy director mostly. Allegedly.
Maybe she's mostly into like the army ones he did. You can't handle
Yeah,
the
a few
truth.
good men. She likes A Few Good Men.
Yeah.
She thought it was a dating app. She's like, honestly, after Jesse, I just want a few good men. That's it.
Okay, so Zach is going to be Jax's couple because Brittany's gone. So let's just watch Jax berate Zach for eating too much now because he's Brittany's stand-in. So Zach's like,
Yes, me bitch for Brittany. I'm Brittany now. Look at me having a shot of suck.
alcoholic. Fucking alcoholic.
So, the first question is like, which partner is a better catch? So Jesse's like, well, I'm in couples therapy right now, so I have to say Michelle. And she's like, well, and that I think that's why you have a life coach because of that response. Everyone's like, oh. So then, where was your second date? So they're all answering these questions. Of course, Jesse's like, Michelle's bed, which is really romantic and kind.
Don't you think that Michelle and Jesse are still kind of a cute couple, even though they're about to get divorced and meet each other? Like, I'm kind of jealous of their chemistry. I think they still have cute chemistry. Like how she's like, do I have stuff in my teeth? And he's like, gross.
They have chemistry the way pneumonia and bleach have chemistry. Like, yeah, there's chemical reactions and we're all going to die from it.
I don't know why I'm thinking of that. So they're playing this game. I can't give a game any mind. Does anything important happen in this game? Because I hate
nothing really happens. How long can you last? How can you last? A couple of games. They're all having, like Nia gets embarrassed by some things like Daniel. And,
they're freaky. Nia and Daniel get freaky. Like they want to have threesomes with everybody and stuff like that. So then
it goes on for a very long time.
Yeah, this keeps going. So let's say everyone wants to bang Jasmine in her threesome, which is cute. And then let's see. I'm trying. There's a lot of game notes.
Let's just go to the James
Kristen
May
friend
setup.
Carmen's house. Okay.
So everyone had a great time, and Kristen wasn't there, and they all ate hibachi, and it was wonderful. So now we go to Kristen's friend's Cameron's house, and Kristen is preparing for a James May relaunch. James May, the t-shirt line that took America by storm back at some point in life, in 2018 perhaps. So Kristen's
I would have liked a different business from Kristen. I feel like James May didn't really work, and I feel like people can really only buy so many t-shirts. Spoken to someone who sells them, this is something that I've learned, and I think that Kristen should have learned this as well. I would like maybe I don't know, something modern, like an NFT with a saying on it. Or
how about an NFT t-shirts? How about an NFT TEE? Would you like to buy my NFT? It's a t-shirt you wear, but it's virtual.
Yeah, it's one of
but
a
you
kind.
own it.
There's only like 20 of these digital t-shirts. Yeah.
It's in the blockchain.
You're welcome, Kristen. You're welcome. Because then also people all over the country would buy it and not just be stuck. I don't know. Anyway, so Zach's like,
Oh my god, this James May is her baby. She's worked so hard on this business.
How dare you? Do you know I'm trying to get pregnant? How dare you say it's my baby? Okay, continue.
For now. It's her baby for now. I saw her literally carrying around a Hanes with a rubber band around a scrunch, and she was like calling it her baby. She was trying to feed it gecko food. I was like, Kristen, that's not for babies.
I literally put this business down in front of Nick Jr. because it's such her baby right now. So, this poor business. So we see flashbacks of people making fun of it, aka Katie. Katie going, I mean, I could go on Pinterest and take my friend's clothes and slap them on a t-shirt and make some money too. Like, come on.
no, she said my friend's quotes. She's like, oh
makes
god,
more sense.
she's just selling other people's quotes on her t-shirt, which would have been a better diss had Katie not been trying to sell a makeup blog where she's like, Guess what I do in the mornings? I put on lipstick. You should try it.
At least Kristen has more T-shirts to show than Kitty has sandwiches, I will say. I like dissing Kitty in the past.
That's opening this month. You're not allowed to say that. That joke's already going to be old by the time this is released. Just kidding. It's tomorrow. I wonder when something about her is opening. I want to go.
Okay, I revise it. How many T-shirts does Kristen have? She has more T-shirts than Katie has puckers and pouts. Where's that?
Now you're doing Ariana's second job of stand-up comedy, which you take very seriously.
Except I messed it up. I tried to do match game, but I came in on the audience response instead of giving. I didn't do the call and response properly. Kristen has so many T-shirts. How many? 3. Oh,
knock knock.
More.
Who's there? Okay, so then we see Katie. Oh yeah, we see Katie. So then Zach's like,
Yeah, so it's like her baby, so I'm trying to be there for her more than normal.
oh, here's what I read. Now everybody's been dying. Like, what's Ronnie reading right now?
I'm already laughing because I know this is gonna be ridiculous in the best way, not shady ridiculous. Just like,
I read something talking
ridiculous.
about, you know how earlier I was like, Jackson, Kristen are the one who pitched this show. Where I got that from some article talking about how Jackson, Kristen pitched this show, and they've been trying to get it on forever. And
it's in the Wall Street Journal.
The original idea for it was that Kristen was going to be trying to have a baby with her best gay friend, Zachary. But then Luke came in the picture, so they changed it around and brought Jasmine on to be friends with Zach. And so Zach has already been kind of dumped from main storylines on this show. They're really doing Zach dirty.
Yeah, poor Zach. So they're setting up this T-shirt event, and Zach is like, this is honestly the perfect venue. A big, breezy, dusty backyard on a cliffside looking over Universal Studios. I die. This backyard is mother.
I'm literally dead.
So Kristen's like,
This is where I'm having a hard time as far as the guest list. So, like, I know you guys had, like, a dinner at Janet's.
yes, Kristen, everyone's dying to come to your T-shirt relaunch in your friend's backyard. But go off.
Meanwhile, I would like totally go. I'm like, where was the invite for Watch What Happens? So then Kristen's like, not inviting me to this dinner. It just feels like Janet's making a statement and not like a statement T, okay? It's like she's like a third grader, and I want you to know you're not invited. Okay, great. Thanks. Gaga.
But in Malibu at the girls' night, like, Janet and I were great, so I don't even understand what's going on.
Like,
Cuts to Janet barely tolerating her in Malibu.
Yeah, Zach's like,
But wasn't that before the Montreal, Kristen? She got mad at you at the Montreal, so why would you have problems before the Montreal, Kristen? I'm not having your baby if you keep talking like this.
You didn't directly scream at Janet, but it's like another moment of you making a decision to kind of, ruin the night, sort of like you ruined my storyline on this show, or like putting a sour taste at the very end, things like that.
I'm sorry, I just couldn't have a baby with that much hair, even for a storyline. I'm sorry.
So Kristen's like, what does Janet have to do with literally anything? And I was like, thank you for speaking for America on that one. Because what the fuck, Janet?
Yeah, I don't understand what that has to do with any of it. So Zach's like, it just really sucks. It really sucks for Kristen because I feel like people blame her for drama, but like Janet is like a shit stirrer. And then we see a flashback of Janet being like, so I heard there's gossip. Will you tell me everything? I heard that Jack said something to Brittany, but I don't know what it is. Can you tell me what it is? Hey, I heard there's a story about something with Kristen. I don't know. Did she tell you something? Can I hear about it? Thanks.
Yeah. And he's like,
You know what? Janet is just getting a pass this summer because she's pregnant, and people get pregnant people passes. It's like crazy. All you have to do is get knocked up. You can get away with anything. Congratulations, all right?
I think extending the invitation to Janet and Michelle to be like, I know you probably need more time, but like, I just want to let you know this is like where I'm at. Like, just be like heartfelt about it because like, I don't think there's any reason to create any more drama or like not include people. So like, just like do it.
So now we go to Jesse and Michelle's house, and Jesse is packing for his spiritual retreat.
I have something to say about Jesse.
If your man is going to be an asshole to you, and then his response to working on that is to go on a weekend where he can do drugs with other dudes, dump him now. That is not a real fucking effort, okay?
But I will say the first redeeming quality of Jesse I've seen all season is that he is an excellent folder of clothes. He had folded like 3 little shirts to put into his overnight bag. And it was like I was staring at a display at Gap, like, which is probably where he worked at some point, because those shirts were folded immaculately. I have been trying to get my shirt folding game down, in anticipation of this European trip. I'm trying to pack lean and mean and get everything nice and, efficient. And like, I swear to God, I was in awe of the way he folded those shirts.
He folds like a crazy person, like a psychopath. Yeah. I feel like
the sort of person who never heard the term
Psycho. Yeah. I feel like American Psycho Bateman aspires to this this level of folding.
People have their skills, their skills and their talents, their scallants.
I can't wait to see your packing cubes. I'm so excited. Are you bringing one of those vacuum things that you vacuum the cube
I
out
would
so it
love
sucks out the air?
I would love to, but my vacuum doesn't have a hose attachment, so it's gonna be packing cubes, which is funny because packing cubes are not actually cubes. So I think they should have renamed them to something more appropriate.
What shape are they?
Well, what happens when you put everything in it? Everything sort of looks like a chiclet, It's like a rounded,
So it's a square, but not a cube. It's like a rounded square.
It's just you think with a cube, it's gonna be like an actual cube, and it's not. So I'm resentful.
Okay, so Michelle comes to check on him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm going on this retreat. For all I know, it could be a huge orgy. And so Michelle's like, "Well, what do you want to get out of the retreat?" And he's like, shrooms, basically. Well, some silence. How about maybe I'll be around some men that know how to fold? Be nice.
Just want to be in a space where the bucket list isn't playing on our TV all the time. So he basically says that this is how it's like the Jesse show and everything. I just want to work on this, and I just want to enter a room without an ego and just have people naturally be drawn to me and everything. Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say to you. Behind all that, you're a good person at heart, but you're your own obstacle, and you keep running into that obstacle, which is why I think you have a dent in your hair. I think you're literally running into your own hair. He's like, yeah, man, well, I'm going to do this for us. I'm going to do whatever it takes. And he's doing this whole thing about it feels like he's doing it not for her. He's doing it because he wants to win. He wants to be like, no, I beat the situation.
Yeah.
So
and she's like, well, I hope that you can change. And he's like, change what? She goes, your personality. Too late. Too little, too late. This is the too little, too late retreat. So he says this is a Hail Mary for the marriage, and he's basically fucked. We all know that goose is cooked. So the producer asks Michelle, what do you think of this spiritual journey? And she's like, well, I think it's partly bullshit, but you don't change overnight. It takes a lot of work to process change.
Yeah. So Jesse's like, all right, well, at least I'll get high for a night. So bye. So then meanwhile, now Nia's going to host a self-defense lesson at the Roosevelt. She's dragging everyone out of the valley, which is shocking. And so Jasmine and Brittany are driving and everything. And Brittany's like, I've been up since 5 a.m. Cruz woke up at 5. He had breakfast, lick the window and stuff. And then, he would not go back down to sleep. Then we went to the bar. Then he fell asleep at the 8-minute car ride from our house to the bar.
And so they talk about the bar. And she's like, we only got 11 days left until our opening. That's 7 weeks. She's like, yeah, it's really moving fast. She's like, well, Jackson wants to make money right away, but I want it to be right. Thankfully they have me. Now they have chairs there. Oh, gosh, we're doing self-defense class. I hope my boobs stay in my top. Ow.
Hi, have you talked to Kristen and Zach recently? And Jasmine's like, yeah, I saw her. And this is where it gets twisted. She's saying that you knew about the whole Michelle's maybe texting as someone situation. And Brittany's like, well, why even throw my name in there? Now notice she doesn't say I didn't know. She says, why are you dragging me into this? She goes, I'm not going to go around and talk about any of it to anybody. I have nothing to do with her dumpster fire that she started it. It's like, no, your husband started. Actually, you started the dumpster fire because you told Jax in the first place.
Yeah. So everybody arrives for this self-defense class, and it's Nia, so bless her heart, but it's like she's like, I really like doing a self-defense class because I believe in self-defense. It's like, okay, FF. So now they're done with that part. She's like, then you go like this. Ew, use your power for good. So then all the ladies sit around talking, which is what we're really here for, of course. And Kristen's like, thank you so much for inviting me. Listen to this one. And Nia's like, yeah, I'm glad you're here. I really wanted you to be here, Kristen.
And so Janet and Michelle, of course, did not come because they heard Kristen was going to be there. So Jasmine's just like, she's like, I just think you need to talk to Michelle. And Kristen goes, listen, I am the peacemaker, okay? I'm like, everyone fucking please get along. When you look at me, you just think peace. I wish they would just insert me in all the conflicts going on across the world because I could fix everything. I am the peacemaker.
Also, I'm the peacemaker. Like, if anyone's ever hungry, I'm really good at peas.
Yeah.
When she said she's a peacemaker, I laughed so hard. And Jasmine's like, peacemaker? They're just all looking at each other like, what is this lady talking about? So Brittany's like, well, you haven't been a peacemaker recently, have you? Because I heard that you said that I said that, or they said that, everyone said. And you're like, well, Brittany knows all about this rumor. Well, I'm not going to say nothing. And why are you bringing my name into any of this, Kristen? Why, Kristen?
No. What I said was the only thing that I said about it was that Jax is the one who brought it up to me, and I don't want to talk badly about your husband to you. Like all of a sudden, Kristen doesn't want to talk badly about Jax. And Brittany is like, now for the sake for everyone. Ooh, I feel gross. Oh wait, sorry, I meant to say for the sake. Whew, glad it was just a typo in my brain. So anyway, for the sake of everyone, I just wish you guys would talk things and things would just be better. And Jasmine's like, yeah, we can all just be, that way we can all just be in the same room together. And Brittany's like, well, yeah, and I just hate this, that they couldn't come tonight because of drama that I and my husband actually kind of started, but we're blaming Kristen for. I just hate that.
So Kristen's like, oh my God, this conversation sucks because I know that I just have to roll over because it's everybody against me, you know? And so Brittany's like, well, you know what? I just think that it would make things better with Janet too if things got better with Michelle. And it's going to be on you to try to make those things better, honestly, even though I'm the one behind the scenes telling everybody that you said this and you said that and getting you in trouble in the first place. That's kind of hilarious. It's Jackson's fault. My boobs hurt. They hurt. They're so heavy.
So now we go over to Kristen's James May relaunch, and Zach is like helping set everything up. Things are windy. Their teacher rack keeps getting knocked over, like tumbling down the hill. And Kristen's just lying on the ground while Zach is doing everything. And she's like, Jesus, it's hot. I need shorts. I'm going to die. I'm literally going to die. I'm going to die before I get to see Brittany at game night. Like, because literally she loves game night. She literally loves games. Oh my God, I'm going to die.
So then Kristen just like sits around on her phone while he's doing all the work. You know, this is the abusive gaze that we see on Bravo. Just another example this week. I plead to you again, gay people. Stop being friends with these Bravo assholes who just boss you around, make you do everything. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of seeing it on the TV. We deserve better. So Zach, she goes and gets changed into like kind of a gypsy skirt type thing. And he's like,
oh my God, you look so good. You look so good. I cannot wait to have our baby. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm going to need a minute. Oh.
Don't touch me. I'm sweaty. Can we go over everything real quick? Okay, so here's what we need. We need a restroom sign. We can like seriously just like tell people. It's not like there's 100 people coming. Yeah, but Jax is coming. All right, we need a restroom sign. Speaking of people coming. Speaking of people coming. Sorry, it's like really hard to tell if it's me talking or you talking. Yeah. So speaking of people coming, like who responded from our group? And so Kristen says that she basically invited everyone except for Janet and Michelle, which makes Zach really upset because Zach wanted Kristen to be heartfelt and invite them and let them be the ones to say they're not going to come.
Yeah. And so then he's like, you didn't even invite them? And she's like, no. So then flashback to 5 days ago. And he was telling Kristen, you need to extend the invite. And she's just ignored him. Dun, dun, dun. So then she's like, I mean, I have other things to worry about. He's like, I know, Kristen, or baby. So then she's like, fuck those girls, you know, basically. And he's like, okay. So their friend comes over and he's wearing Croc boots, bright pink Croc boots.
Yeah.
And Zach's like,
Oh my God, I know you want me to love Crocs, but it's just not gonna happen.
I know. He's like, you can't love these. So now we go over to Jax and Brittany's house, and Brittany's on the phone with Janet talking about like a Big Bear trip because while Jax is like working, quote unquote, working at the counter. And Brittany's like, so Jax told me about the trip. I'm so freaking excited because of course we're in, you know that. So Janet is doing a baby moon to Big Bear. And she's inviting couples before her baby shows up. But of course, she's not inviting Kristen. So we can already tell that this is going to be drama. And also, like, I hate when people don't invite people to the cast trip. Like, you got to invite everyone to the cast trip.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. This stupid lady, you can't do that. You're new. You are new here. You don't get to just come on and recast the leads of the show, you wackadoo, with your hibachi party. Like, did she really think, oh my God, today I'm taking the show over with my hibachi party? Fail, Janet. So then, also your party too. Like, oh God, didn't we just have a baby shower and now we're going to have a sip and see, and now we're going to have all this other shit for your baby. Now we have to have a final party for you before your baby comes. How many parties do you need? Now you're just inventing things.
Jax, of course, is like, well, I have to tell Kristen, right? Like, this feels like a messy situation, so I need to be messy. So I'm going to have to do this. And Brittany's like, why? Because I know I'm going to the James May thing. Like, I'm sorry, it's her event, but like, I don't know when I'm going to see her again. And I feel like this is the only opportunity I have to tell her. I mean, like, I have to be messy. I need to be messy. Like, this has to happen. I need to be messy right now.
Yeah, he's like, wow, for her not to invite Kristen, that's messy even for me. So then Janet's like, okay, well, good luck today. I hope it goes well. Feel free to call me later if, things go down, because I really want the gossip, even though I'm trying to get this lady kicked off the show. And Brittany's like, okay, I love you. Keep you updated on everything. So now they're talking about, like, this is so crazy with Kristen and everybody. And now it's time for Jax and Brittany to go to this party.
Well, Brittany's like, it's never been this crazy and mixed up with my friendship with Kristen before ever. I'm just like so mad that she's like not invited to Brick Bear. I mean, like whenever, whenever, like she hasn't taken even this, hey, Jax, get off the phone. And she takes Jax's phone. She's like, get off your freaking phone, Jax. I'm talking about Kristen. And he's like, I'm sorry. No, I was talking to the DJ for the party. No, you were on Instagram. I can see the grid in your background. Okay. And that wasn't even the AM PM page like you say you're always looking at.
Sorry, I've got 3 other businesses going on, all right? I'm so busy. I've got this. Trying to lose more hair in preparation for that thing.
Hockey down in Tampa.
We're doing
That's
shit.
we're still in the mix, still waiting. We're in the final round of interviews. And she's like, oh yeah, you got the businesses. Do you do that by yourself? Because I'm pretty sure I'm doing the exact same things as you are doing, Jax. And he goes, no. And he goes, I still have to work. Can you just like take 10 minutes and not be on your phone? Okay. He's like, well, I'm just talking about Kristen some more. Okay, fine. Okay, well then we have nothing else to talk about then.
He's like, I don't care about Kristen. Okay, I've got businesses. You know how hard it is being married to an alcoholic? She's like, wait a minute. Sorry, I was just saving that for the camera. Sorry. Nothing, honey. Nothing. So now we go back to the event, and Jax and Brittany are there, and Jax is like, wow, looks like Krista has more friends than I thought. This is wow, I don't recognize anybody. Did she just hire all these people?
Do you think they're available for our bar launch? So then Jasmine shows up. Everyone's showing up. Danny and Nia, twins and everything. There's another tattoo stand. They love tattoos as party favors on this show. And
So
they're
weird.
looking around. Yeah.
Such
Jack's
a
like,
permanent thing for such a temporary place.
yeah, that's the thing. Like, you're just going to get like a little something. I don't know. So Jax is like, so what are we actually doing here? And Zach is like, oh, it's a rebrand. Yeah, it's a rebrand, Jax. Don't you know that? And he's like, I don't know. I don't know what this is. I don't think anybody can even buy anything. I think it's just samples. I mean, I'd rather just go on a bunch of trippy drugs with Jesse and have a spiritual journey at this point.
And Zach's like,
Yeah, she just wants to get back to her essence. So, that's what we're doing.
he's like, sorry, I couldn't hear you. I'm counting businesses in my head. This is making me tired. So then Brittany and Zach go gossip, and they're talking. She's pulling at her t-shirt. She's like,
This kind of t-shirt don't work for big women.
no t-shirt works for anyone that lets Jax be in control of what goes inside of them. Period.
So Zach is like, well, I think that was like a first run. Like, that may have been one of the ones that fell down the hillside. I'm not sure.
Well, when I talked to Janet earlier, everybody got a flyer, and like even Jerry got one. And like, of course, like Janet's gonna hear about this if she sends one to Jared and Simon. And I was like, ugh.
And Zach is like, but here's the thing. I even told her. Like, I was like, Kristen, invite them. Let them say no if they need boundaries.
Why they're all mad at Kristen for not inviting Janet and Michelle, but it was Janet and Michelle who've been the ones who've been excluding Kristen.
Yeah. And Michelle, I can see it because Kristen is going around like, oh, have fun with your affair. I'm protecting all your secrets. Don't worry. But Janet doesn't have that excuse. I don't like it. So, Brittany's like, yeah, I just don't even think she cares. Like, okay, so what are we going to do to try and make her care? Are we going to make her? She's like, well, I mean, what about the baby moon, though? I mean, she's not even going to go to the baby moon. Maybe she'll care then. He goes, wait a minute. Jonna's having a baby moon? What?
Oh, yeah. We're going to Big Bay Area. And she's like, I mean, she's not going to invite Kristen. And like, you should talk to Janet because like right now it's kind of just like couples thing, you know. Have you ever been in a couple? Oh, you haven't dated anyone ever, have you? Well, so I don't know. Like, I don't know if you're coming or not, but like, I kind of feel weird even being the one to tell you because
I better be invited. I better be invited. Hold on a second. Oh. It's really hard hearing this.
And he's basically like, fucking Janet, we're in a good place. And the only reason she's doing this is because I'm supporting Kristen. You know?
He's like, yeah, it's not about the couples. You don't want me there because you're either not comfortable or you think I'm so not on your side that I would immediately be talking to Kristen about y'all.
So now the whole group gathers, and Jax just has this giant, like, circular sweat stain right around his belly button. And Zach is like, you're just like me, except I guess you get invited to baby moons. I don't know. And Jack's like, yeah, I don't know. It's like, whatever. I had sweat. I don't know. There's nothing I can do about it. So Luke is like, Kristen, are you okay? And she goes, you know what? Seriously, it takes a lot for them to be here with babies. So I really appreciate it. It means a lot. It just makes me emotional. Just like a big, happy family. I love it. Where are the geckos? I'm hungry. I need their food.
And so Jax is like, yeah, I hate to be the Debbie Downer of your event, but I'm just going to get this out of the way because I'm uncomfortable being around strangers. People from Craigslist that you brought in for this fake business. It's not really yours. Got a lot of businesses to run. So hate to be Debbie Downer, but Janet and Jason are planning a baby moon. You're not invited. We're all going to Big Bear without you. So go ahead. Cry about it. Zach, take it away.
And Jasmine's like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, I mean, I was the only one who said that you guys should come. I just want to get that credit. And so Zach is like, I mean, it's just like, I'm like just like trying to like stop. I'm like, I can't, like, when everybody moved to the Valley, it like basically created a division in our friendship. And like, I didn't get invited to like a lot of stuff. And like being one of the only single people in the group and like not inviting me on like a baby moon feels like I'm being just like singled out. Like, emphasis on single, because that's what I am. Like, why the fuck am I not invited? I did nothing wrong.
So did they invite Jasmine? I couldn't tell by her response because Jack said, unfortunately, they don't want to invite you guys. And she said, wait, what?
I couldn't. I thought maybe she wasn't invited, but maybe she is because she is in a relationship.
Well, I don't know, but I hope she's not because I hope they can all gang up now and get rid of Jan. Are you seriously going to try and go against Kristen and a gay? Really? Good luck, honey.
Good luck.
Know, Kristen, have you seen these shows? Surely you have. Are you really going to try and go up against Kristen, you fucking moron? I cannot wait to see you get eaten alive, lady. Can't wait. Good luck.
We'll see how it all shakes out. But that's it for this week's episode.
It sure is, everybody. Thanks so much for being here with us. Okay. We will be back tomorrow with a little summer house. And there's still a bonus episode, and our live Dwell Hello from the Comedy Festival will be posted, I don't know, today, tomorrow, some point, over on Wondery Plus. Thank you so much for being here. We will talk to you guys next time, okay? Bye.
Bye. Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors.
Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Stroll in the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas. She's never scary, it's the Green Fairy. Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
We want to hang with Liz Lang.
Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
We forever love Ava.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
Ring that bell for Rachel.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the climate-ravaged year of 2072, the city of Pura stands as a miraculous green haven, a geoengineered paradise that protects fortunate residents from the global catastrophes of heat domes, fires, floods, and droughts. Demetria Lopez heads up Pura's public relations, tirelessly promoting the city's idyllic image. But when she stumbles upon a dark secret that, if exposed, would be the downfall of Pura's existence, she must decide who and what she is willing to protect. From Wondery, the makers of Academy and Dr. Death, The Last City stars actors Reyes Sehorn, Jeannie Torrado, and Maury Sterling. Follow The Last City on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of The Last City early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
I'm Elena, an autopsy technician.
And I'm Ash, a hairstylist.
And we just love swapping stories about all of the morbid things that fascinate us.
And if you do too, join us on our podcast, Morbid. It's a safe space to let your weirdo flag fly.
On Morbid, we cover dark historical events, sinister science, unnerving paranormal events, and sordid high society murders.
We also dive deep into the most notorious crimes in history.
Our podcast is grounded in rigorous and painstaking research. We're also not afraid to read a
Yeah. We keep it weird because a dash of snark is necessary to get through grotesque true tales of demented minds.
So follow Morbid on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Morbid early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.